Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in to alternate ending. Tune in to alternate ending. Tune in to alternate ending. Tune in to alternate ending now. Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternate Ending, where we're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time.
Roll with it. This is good.
Is
it the pressure of me being here?
It's because you're here. No, I'm starting over.
Do you want me to kick us off?
No, I've got this. Okay, here we go. Welcome to Alternate Ending, where we're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm your host, Robert Jarasinski. Across from me, the casual moviegoer, Carrie Jarasinski, and our very own critic in residence, Tim Brayton. Mm-hmm. Guys.
Hello, Carrie.
I feel like you got that.
Carrie, you have a very handsome man across the way from you
I do.
Big trade up from the last guy. I don't even remember, like Bob or something like that. Real jackass. But this guy you seem to be on the right track. I'm very pleased.
He is smoking. You're right. And he's here today. I'm so happy that you are.
Happy to be back, y'all.
Here to join us for one
Just
of our favorite episodes.
Up some trivia with some of our movie clubbers from Patreon, which was fun.
Tim got second place.
Yeah.
Did you get second to last place?
No, I got fifth or sixth.
Oh, okay. I got
last. I did right in my usual finish. So that was a good turnout. A lot of fun. Brendan does a great job hosting that. So it was fun to be back on that as well.
Yes, he does. But you are here.
I'm here because we're talking about my favorite topic.
It's the
summer movies.
We were so concerned we were going to get to our summer preview and you weren't going to be able to take part. So we're glad we were able to make this happen.
You know, I've been reading up on the Discord. There was some concern whether or not your selections would be appropriate or not, and so they wanted a real summer blockbuster expert to come on.
Obviously.
Well,
more to the point, I mean, historically, you just absolutely slaughtered Carrie and I at the box office competition. So it would have been truly, truly mortifying if it had to be just the two of us sort of bumbling our way through that alone.
Thankfully, wait, are we doing top 5 box office? Because I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble too.
Are we not?
No, don't scare me.
Well, then I guess I should not have gone to the effort of writing my top 5.
I have, but I'm willing to amend my locked list because I'm hearing bad things about Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm leaving Guardians where I had it, and I will own the fact that I overpredicted it.
You have it at number 1?
I don't have it at number 1, but I do have it at 320 million US, and that seems high.
Yeah, I made the mistake, which, like many others who may play this game, is thinking that the final installment of Guardians would take the summer, but I am no longer feeling confident in that. And now it's anybody's ball game, really.
It's true. But beyond that, again, we don't all get together in one room talking about movies. Rob, I just want to warn.
And indeed, we are not in one room.
That's true.
We're not even in one state.
It feels as though we are. I have probably done some oversharing in your absence, Rob.
Okay.
About just things that are going on in our lives, all of the awkward scenarios. Would you say that there's anything that you've done that's like a disastering parenting choice, any sort of destruction to our home, anything that you can do to sort of balance the scales for the things that I've done?
I see where you're headed. No, I have my wits about me. I mean, I've maybe put us into significant debt.
Like financial
ruin. Essentially. But it all comes down to how all these movie projects end up performing. So that's really on our AE audience to decide.
I'm really sweating.
And our film critics to maybe waive their no review clause to get some positive reviews out there.
Positive reviews. I don't know any critics though, so we're gonna have to.
No, things are good. I'd say the one thing that's kind of making me a little nervous that's happening in the news, and I don't know if you've been following very much, Tim, but I think you're union strong, right? Like you're pro.
I stand with the writers.
You stand with the writers, as do I. Even as on the producing side, I think that what they're asking for is reasonable. However, the concern that I have now is that the writer's strike is going to bleed into a Screen Actors Guild strike, and I've got a project that's set to start at the end of July, early August. So that's kind of put us in a bit of a precarious situation. So that's probably the only thing I'm sweating about is
You're
that
sweating about the SAG people
strike.
possibly going on strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would create a little bit of a.
I was thinking
of an
financial
issue.
ruin was more
It's all
stressful.
fine. It's all investments. You just write that off. Write it off.
That's true. Although I will say,
The expression on your face right now, Carrie, you look like
is it
you're
distress?
smelling a dead rat in your house. Like you just look so miserable.
I gotta tell you again. I mean, we all know I'm the frugal side of this relationship, so I do feel some palpitations anytime we talk about any sort of investment. But nevertheless, I have noticed during those strikes that there's a lot of signage on the anti-producer side. A lot of the signage is like,
No,
hey,
I don't think it's
I
a
saw some
producer
signage.
thing.
It was
It's
like,
studios.
hey, it's studios, but then also people's signs was like, producers, we want the producers' money too, and things like that. So I think there's a little bit of anti-producer.
I think you're making that up on the spot to try and get some sort of weird points against your husband.
It's not working.
No, I feel very good about my allegiance to making sure what's fair.
You are fair.
is
You're
done.
overly fair. That's
I've
the
been very
problem.
critical about just in general how I don't quite understand the streaming model and how it's sustainable and like the things that they're spending their money on. They could be creating more equity and parity in the industry itself, like all the way above the line and below the line. And yeah, I just the equations need to shift around, and hopefully it's a sobering effect and creates more opportunities for that mid-budget, low-budget range projects to take off. Because having worked now on a couple of projects, like it costs. It's an expensive process to make a movie, but it doesn't I still blows me away this like $200 million budgets. Like these types of things are just insanity, especially when you're just releasing it on streaming. I just don't see how you're making your money. How Netflix and others make their money back on projects like that. So,
I think Netflix has more or less formally announced that the days of the $200 million Netflix original are probably behind us because they also couldn't figure it out because it doesn't make any goddamn
makes
sense.
no sense. So, I'm excited to see, a little bit of a shakeup and some fairness more thrown in for the writer side, and as long as it doesn't lead to a Screen Actors Guild strike, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
that's
as
true.
long as peace can be brought to Hollywood in the next 4 weeks, you're set.
I feel like if the writers can figure it out, the actors are in a more positive frame of mind. The writers' situation is a little bit more dire. And I don't know how angry the Screen Actors Guild is at their current situation because they get paid pretty well for their minimums.
Well,
and
that's
stuff.
what I was going to ask. So they're striking. I mean, without writers, you have nothing. So why is it that they're the ones that are not financially gaining or financially gaining equally to other people who contribute to the making of the movie, like a director or like anybody else that's working on it? Because again, that's like probably the hardest part, like coming up with the concept, like you own it. And then it seems like the fact that they're underpaid seems like I don't understand how we got there. How did we get where that was?
It's
so-
producers
we've
and
been there.
studios.
We've been there
Yeah.
since like the teens.
But why?
Like that.
You think you got to
You
pay
try
them? They're
to
creative.
you try to find ways to
Cut.
cut in places, and they think that it's anybody.
Like
they
the
think
most
they can
important
put
thing.
anything up on the screen and people will watch it, and sometimes that's true.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it's not. Like I think we've gone away. Like a lot of the movies that are out there have suffered from being rushed or not having enough writers. Like story wise, like it's certainly been. That's why you're seeing a resurgence of a lot of sequels and things like that too. It's
Reboots,
just like
sequels.
not a whole lot of originality. Not
And
safe.
It tends to be the case that about 18 months after writer strikes, we get some truly just horrible movies because those are the ones that went into production with screenplays that weren't finished, but they were close enough. And we get, for example, Quantum of Solace when that happens.
Okay.
And an interesting ruling came out of Quantum of Solace because it happened during the writer strike. They rushed that one into production, and the director was just kind of making script adjustments on the fly. Which now since that episode, the Writers Guild has had it very a rule in there that says you can't, once the script is done and they go on strike, you can't touch it. It has to be shot as is because of Quantum of Solace, because the director was there, shifting things around and making changes.
Quantum of Solace. Let's
That's, James
refresh
Bond.
everybody.
James Bond.
James Bond. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone probably noticed. when you were actually watching it, but
Oh, it's a bad.
they
It's a
noticed.
tough.
It's a really bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a really bad movie.
Oh, is that the one with Daniel Craig?
It's one of the Daniel Craig.
It's the second one with Daniel Craig.
Okay, I think I like that one. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Tim, to you, anything
Yes.
exciting? I feel like you're quickly approaching deadlines. I feel like you've got a lot going on in your life. You're not at your home right now. What's the most
No,
exciting thing
I'm
going
giving
on
a
with you?
guest lecture at the University of Chicago. I will be talking about the history of Soviet animation.
Whoa, big gig.
Yeah,
Great school.
fun times. So that's going to be going on, coming at a really perfect time in my life because I am also grading final projects for my actual job at UW-Madison, and because of a technical snafu, I had to delay the grading of projects, which is good for giving a lecture at U Chicago, but is bad because now I have to grade 32 final projects in basically 3 days at the end of this week. So
Yikes.
it's going to be a fun time. Continue watching for no reviews is basically the upshot of where my life is right at this moment in time. I am going to try to get to at least Guardians of the Galaxy 3 sooner rather than later, though.
Here's the thing, though, Tim. I mean, I come from a family of teachers of the English variety. Like, they got a lot of papers to grade. They got a lot of long papers, too. I've never fully understood, like, you know who these kids are. You know what they can produce. I mean, you know who's got an A, who's got a B. Can't you just kind of, like, slap one on there, you know?
No.
I mean,
No,
you know,
I
like
cannot.
Jimmy is an A student. It's going to be an A. Do I need to go through all of this or can I just give Jimmy the A, you know?
I think Jimmy deserves my full attention and deserves the benefit of my years of wisdom.
Oh,
And I'm going to treat Jimmy as my peer and my equal and not as a problem for me to solve,
oh, that seems
but as a young mind for me
ethical.
to mold.
I see. That's frightening and ethical at the same time. You know what? In other exciting news, Tim, I'm having a little bit of a life crisis, just sort of like one of those that we all have at different phases. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go back to school. I was like, UW is just around the corner. I was like, maybe I can go back to school. I love the idea of getting a backpack. I love the idea of walking around downtown. Like maybe you and I could grab coffee and then walk to class together or something like that. And
You should
Well, I
audit
don't
one
go
of
to
Tim's
class
classes.
anymore, Carrie.
Yeah.
we could still walk together, like
could do that.
on your way. Are you supportive of this? I'm thinking about it, Rob. Like maybe
I've
I'd
been
go
trying to
like a
get you to pick
master's.
something to go do, and you can't. You're having
I know.
a dilemma of trying to figure out what it is that you actually want
What
to do.
would your course of studies be?
Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there. You tell me if it's a good or bad idea. I was like, maybe I'll get a master's in corporate sustainability. Like,
Is that a thing? Of course, it's a thing.
I don't know.
Everything is a thing.
I'm not 100% sure, but I was like, maybe I could get like a certification. I could get a class. I mean, again, I just really want the backpack and the Trapper Keeper, and like I love school supplies. And so that's really what I'm in for. So I'm going to get to the next step, which is figuring out how expensive it is for me to go and get.
For a master's from a business school,
Yeah.
extremely.
See, that's where they get the price tag, and then I'm a little leery. So
That's one of the places that schools get money is from people who get master's degrees that are not paid by the school.
okay,
My master's degree was paid for by the school because it was part of a PhD program.
maybe I'll do that. It seems like it's going well for you. So maybe that's my
It's
next
going. I'm in
option.
such good mental spirits. I'm glad that you look at my life and you think that's a good thing. I should get in on that action.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a beacon for me. You're a beacon.
Thank
And
you.
again,
I try to be.
we'll get coffee. We'll walk together. It's going to be great. So more to come on that. But before we think about going to school together, let's think a little bit about movies. And not only movies, summer 2023 movies. There's a lot of them out there. I watched a lot of trailers. Rob, I'm going to throw it to
Yes.
you. I don't want to know what you have. I just want you to say, what do you think it's looking like? Are you thinking it looks good? Like, where's your temperature on the summer?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think summer's back to a large degree as far as the blockbuster films coming out of coming from a bad COVID summer the last few summers. There's a bunch of good stuff. Like I don't see anything that I'm expecting to be maybe 5-star. But some strong a couple of 4.5s, I'd say in here is a very likely outcome.
Oh, I got a 5.
What I'm missing is, and I didn't do maybe as much of research as I should, like other than the big names, like I don't know about anything that's going to sneak into theaters because I think there's maybe 2 Oscar worthy type things on here, maybe like that might get an Oscar nom.
I think one of them is on my list.
I mean, who a year ago would have thought that Top Gun Maverick was going to be an Oscar nominee for Best Picture?
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. All right, Tim, what about you? Are you feeling hot, cold, medium? Where are you at?
I mean, I don't think we are going to have a Maverick. Like, I don't think we're going to have that kind of like swaggering 10-ton elephant that just sort of bursts through the summer and makes its presence felt. In part because I think we've kind of had that film for the year already with the Super Mario Brothers movie. But it does feel like we've got a pretty nice slate. There are more popcorn type movies that I'm looking forward to than there have been for a while. And I kind of agree with Rob. I managed to scrounge up a couple pretty tiny films for my top 5, my anticipated list. But I do think that once you get past the studio A and B films, like the sort of big ticket movies, I don't think there's a lot in the way of like small things that look enticing. Like it feels like it's pretty much go big or go home for a lot of sort of what's opening. But I was able to scrounge up a couple things that I think are maybe counter to that.
All right. Well, I agree. I actually was surprised. Usually I go through, I watch all the trailers for every movie that's coming out. And usually in like first 15 seconds, I'm like, oop, nope, this one's not good. Or like, oop, this is one Tim will like, but not me. Like, so I'm in and out on those. A lot of the trailers hooked me. Like I was watching a lot of them. Like I came up with a list of probably 10 that I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what your list is because I don't think it's going to be the big blockbuster. I listened to you chuckling on a lot of things that I just didn't recognize, like films that I hadn't heard of. So I think you're picking things that are maybe flying under the radar.
I thought so, but then I did go out to figure out what our audience top 5 was, and there's a little bit of overlap in there. So I don't know. Maybe they're big, maybe they're small, unknown. But you start us off, Rob, at number 5.
Oh boy, this is exciting. Get to start. Number 5 for me is a bit of a surprise. I have no idea who the audience of this movie is because by the IP itself, you'd think it maybe wouldn't be me, but I'm also wearing a My Little Pony shirt. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? This is Barbie, Greta Gerwig's Barbie. The trailer made quite a bit of noise on social media, in film Twitter. I don't even know if film Twitter is a thing. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, but coming out July.
It's still a thing.
It's still a thing. July 21st, coming out. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach's Barbie.
Married.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah. Just so you know.
But yeah, it looks quirky and fun. But then at the same time, I'm nervous for it because I'm like, it feels like I'm the audience for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there aren't a whole lot of me. So like, we're not going to bring our kids to this. Like, it doesn't feel like a kid's movie.
I actually think there are more of you than you think, I would say.
I don't know.
I've heard a lot of people are excited about this. I'm even more excited about than you because I had it at number 2.
Oh, wow.
Coming in. Yeah, this is Margot Robbie. Ryan
it's got an amazing cast. Yeah.
Holy smokes. John Cena's in this. Ariana Greenblatt. Like it's a really, really fun cast. I feel like Greta Gerwig, because she did Lady Bird, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I think it's going to have a vibe. I think it's going to have this like really cool commentary vibe on body culture and
I think so too.
Growing up. I think it's going to be
and
really
I think
good.
That'll mislead like general going audiences who might be thinking this is just like a fun Barbie movie. I think it's going to have. I think it has something to say, probably.
Yeah.
And it's yeah.
Are you a Barbie man?
No,
You didn't play with Barbies?
No Barbies.
Because your mom wanted you to be a girl for a while.
Yeah, no, she didn't stock me up with any Barbie
though.
toys.
Okay.
I had a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. Myrtle. I still have her.
I think Cabbage Patch Kids are pretty gender neutral though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, you can't tell. Myrtle could be anything. I did play with Barbies though, and I'm trying to think like when we had kids. I don't think I've ever bought a Barbie for our girls ever. They have some just from gifts, but I think I pretty early on realized that it was kind of like this isn't really the great image to share with your kids of like what perfection is. It's like
did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Tim, you're noticeably quiet here. I'm assuming not on your list anywhere?
I'm curious about it. I agree with you, Rob. I don't know who the target audience is, but it does seem like it's got a lot going under the hood. For me, I'm just at like fool me twice, shame on you, fool me 3 times, shame on me territory with Greta Gerwig. I don't like her. I don't think she makes good movies.
Oh, well, that's where we're disagreeing. She's done everything she's done has been good.
I don't like either of her films.
What was the other one again?
I despise Frances Ha, which she only wrote the screenplay for. She didn't direct it, but I think it's a poisonously bad film.
Oh, I like that one too. I think she's so good. So anyway, we'll agree to disagree, but Rob, I'm with you. I think Barbie's going to be good.
Yeah, it might surprise me. I put it on there as kind of like my
That's right.
surprise.
You love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he can
You
pretty
aspire
much
to
do
be
no
him. Yeah.
wrong for me.
That's true. I think you're going to blonde your hair up afterwards, get it nice and bleached, and you're going to just turn right into
I've
him.
already got the abs.
You
So the hair's
just right. That's the next. And then that's
what's
it.
next.
That's all you need. All right, Tim. Number 5 to you. I think it's probably my number 4. Let's go to your
There's
number
a
5.
possibility this one's on your list, actually. It wouldn't shock me. So I unlike you, Carrie, I do not do the like deep dive research of like watching all the trailers and figuring out what the log lines are and all. I just kind of go by like, who do I trust to give me a good time? And my number 5, which is one of my small movies, one of those sort of under the radar-y type things I was talking about before. It has the pairing of a director who I really like with a lead actor who I really like. And I have really liked both of them working together formally. So I'm like, okay, it feels like there's not really a huge opportunity for this film to disappoint me. Maybe it will not surprise me. Maybe it will not change my world. But this is directed by Nicole Holofcener, starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and the film is You Hurt My Feelings.
It's my number 4.
Oh, wow.
I thought it might make your list.
I can't wait for this. Tell us what it's about. It's basically about Rob and I, but
I don't have any idea what it's about.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you. Okay, so Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays this longstanding novelist. So she's an author and she's sort of in a rut. Like she's trying to like figure out what's next. And then she has this husband who is just adorable. I think his name is Tobias Menzies, maybe. I think that's his name.
I mean, that is an actor, yes.
That is an actor. So I think that's her husband. And the entire time, he is like her biggest champion. Like, you've got this, your last book was amazing, even though like it didn't do great sales. He comes up with all these reasons why, like, people didn't see it or bad timing. Like he's giving all these explanations. So she's fueled off of his positivity and like energy and affirmation towards her. And then she is at like a store or something like that. And she overhears her husband giving his honest reaction to her latest book, which is not positive. And
that's a great hook.
Yeah.
I'm so much more excited for this movie now. 5 was too low.
And this is the thing, Rob, this is what you do 100% of the time. Like I am not actually sure if you're 100% honest or not, but you've never put me down. Like you're always trying to elevate me and feel better, and I like feel better about myself for everything. And I just keep thinking like, do you really believe that, or are you just trying to like white lie me, and that's what the husband's trying to do. And I don't know.
It didn't make a ton of, it was at Sundance. It didn't make a ton of noise there. So yeah, I guess I just haven't, I like the TV work that she's done. She's done an episode of a bunch of stuff like on a number of series. She did Enough Said with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It was actually, what's his name? Gandolfini's, I think last
project. Came out posthumously.
What is that the movie that you're that you have a baseline
that is when I said that they have made a film together that I enjoyed. Although I consistently like Holofcener. I think she's a really underrated talent in the indie world. Walking and Talking, Friends with Money, both films that I really, really appreciate. She did a Netflix original starring Ben Mendelsohn called I think The Land of Something, and the poster of it is him standing in the Bed Bath & Beyond towel section. I can't think of the title, but I find her to be a very smart filmmaker about like neurotic middle class types, and I expect more of that, especially based on that logline.
Okay, so. Well, I'm excited to see it.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I love little kind of slice of life.
So, what is the actual percentage of the true to lie when you're always boosting me? Is it like 75-25?
No, I'm usually pretty genuine about.
Think so?
I think you could do anything, Care.
Yeah, this is what
you just gotta pick one thing to do. That's the hard part.
That is so hard.
Yeah, you got to pick the thing.
I just want you to tell me. Like,
I've
Carrie,
tried to tell you. I said real estate
know.
agent. I thought today even. I was like, that's a good one.
I can't be a real estate agent.
A great real estate.
You don't
agent.
want to get into real estate in this exact moment in time. Maybe in like 2 years, you might want to become a real estate agent.
I just think I'd be terrible.
That's about how long it would take for Carrie
that's legit.
To pass the test.
To pass the test, to get up to speed. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do when I go to UW. Real estate. I don't even know. But anyway, I'm super excited about this one. All right, I'm going to jump back down to my number 5. I was toggling between.
Wait, how many do you have left now? Because I feel like you're
taking
picked
them all.
over.
You're taking them all. This one I thought Tim might have on his list. I don't think Rob probably saw the preview for it. And this one stars a woman who Tim would have an affair with. We've talked about it many times. Would have an affair with. It's basically his like number one woman in Hollywood. And then the second woman that's in this, I would have an affair with. Long-standing wanted to have an affair with this person. And so the two of them together is a powerhouse. This is Helen Mirren and Gillian Anderson coming together in White Bird. Did you guys see the preview for this?
Yes.
No
I did.
idea what this
Is it on your list? Tim? No. Oh, no. This is my depressing pick. I think this could go awry. I think it could be depressing and sad, but the trailer for it leaned in enough to the uplifting positivity relationship side of it that I'm hoping that can supersede the whole Nazi storyline. But basically there's a girl who goes out. I think it's based on a book, but it's set during World War II, and she is sort of picked on, shunned by her classmates, and like kind of doesn't know how she fits in. And then there's this other little boy who has like a one cane, kind of like, you know, the mouse from that Christmas movie. He kind of like hobbles around on one cane. And at first she picks on him, and then she ends up like becoming friends with him. And she realizes like in the end, he becomes her best friend and sort of her savior in this situation. And again, this could go badly, but the previews for it were so heartwarming and sweet that I think it could be amazing. I don't know.
I appreciate your optimism and your belief in the human spirit.
It's Helen Mirren.
This is a movie that is somehow a sequel to Wonder. Remember that movie from a few years ago?
I never watched Wonder because I was confident that I would be sad. I was confident that I would not like it.
Speaking of, remember Quantum of Solace?
Yeah.
That was the same director. Mark Forster is.
Mark Forster is just
a pass.
He's a name to conjure on for me. I hear his name and I see devilry. I hate that man's work.
Yeah.
Are you a big no on him too all the time, Rob?
I mean, it's not a hard no. Like, I enjoyed
Soft
World War Z. I actually had a lot of fun with Machine Gun Preacher because I came in with like no expectations to it. But yeah, lately he has done just really not very interesting.
He did A Man Called Otto. Was that one of his?
Yeah, he did the remake. He did Monsters Ball, which was...
No, he did A Man Called Ove, I think.
No, Otto.
He
did
A Man Called Ove was Swedish and Mark Forster is not.
Yeah. Oh, darn it. Well,
he's just a very safe...
The remake starring Tom Hanks.
I like safe, though.
He's just a very safe director.
Yeah, I want it to be safe. If you're in a movie about the Nazis, you want it to be a safe movie. So that's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed.
He tries to, manipulate audiences.
Yeah.
I
love to be manipulated.
I think that'll work for you.
Yeah.
But did you like Wonder?
I never saw it.
Oh, we watched it with the kids.
No, you did.
Oh, okay.
I walked away because I was like, this kid's going to get picked on for sure. Didn't he have some facial...
That's the literal plot, is
deformity?
That it's about a kid who gets bullied.
No.
Overcoming the bullies.
Yeah, and that's just not for me.
With an axe.
Wait, he takes people out with an axe?
No, I would clearly enjoy it if that was the case.
Oh.
And it's not a movie that I like.
I thought maybe
that movie's called Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I still have hope. So this is White Bird. It's coming out August 25th. Everyone can jump on the bandwagon with me. I might be
people
alone.
are marking their calendars now.
They are right now.
Yeah, I mean, August 25th is a day that I expect to be traveling. So I will say, the minute that I realized what movie you were talking about, I had this like complete deflating sense of like, now I have to see it.
Oh gosh, I forgot that's the rule.
Skipping that one.
Oh man,
we'll watch it together. We'll all hold each other. It's going to be
when
great.
does book club come out? Are you going to make us watch book club? This
is what happens when you come back to our podcast, Rob. You get roped into these terrible decisions your wife makes.
I know. I did
this was a one time.
No, you got to come back.
You
for
had
the
book club
recap.
on here?
I did, and then I took it off.
Thank goodness.
White Bird bumped it, but I did almost have it on here. To you, Rob, you're number 4. What do you have for us?
Yeah, this one's a dour one, but if you thought Barbie had a stat cast, get a load of Oppenheimer, which I think may open the same week.
The same exact day.
Same exact day, which is, quite counter programming. I can't. It's the next Christopher Nolan film. I mean, I just love Christopher Nolan.
Oppenheimer. Now he's in oil, right?
He's in energy.
Energy
for
railroad.
Sure. A different kind of energy.
What did the Oppenheimers do?
Mr. Oppenheimer.
They destroyed Japan.
Oh, is it a bomb man?
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the
think I knew
creators,
that.
the creator of the atomic
Wow.
bomb. Yeah. And so, I'm up for Nolan. I'll see anything Nolan's in. Again, this is one where I'm curious to see how many people show up. It's what is it, like 3.5 hour movie? I don't know what.
It's going to be long. We don't have a running time yet,
We don't
but
have
it's
running
not
time.
going to be short.
But the cast is
it? Who
Robert
else? Who's
Downey
in it?
Jr.,
Okay.
Matt Damon, Cillian Murphy.
Oh, jeez.
Olivia Thirlby. I've just jumped to the next level tier.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Olivia. I love Olivia Thirlby, but trying to think about who else is in there.
It's definitely a
Casey
film where
Affleck,
like all of the
Emily
big names
Blunt.
are men. So by the time you get to the women, you are sort of scrounging a little bit.
Florence
but,
Pugh's in it.
Oh, Florence Pugh. You know,
Kenneth-
I love
That's
right,
Florence
that's
Pugh.
right.
Gary Oldman, Josh Hartnett, David Desmalchin, Rami Malek, Tony
Oh, boy.
Goldwyn, Dane DeHaan, Alex Wolff.
So when you were talking about movies being $1 bajillion, this is why they're $1 bajillion. You bring in a cast like this. I mean, all
Possibly,
of these
but you know
people
what?
are expensive.
I bet this budget is still like a fraction of a Marvel movie. Despite all of this talent, I think most people want to work with.
apparently Cillian Murphy was like ecstatic to get the call that Nolan wanted him for the lead role, because Cillian Murphy is playing Robert Oppenheimer.
That's right.
And apparently ever since Batman Begins, they've been looking for a project that Murphy could headline. And for the record, I'm right there with you, Rob. I don't know that I expect this to necessarily be good. Like on paper, it's like, this is a weird thing to put into a movie, but like, it's going to be, there's no way this movie would have this many actors, be a Nolan film, and be this long if it weren't something. So I'm just sure the something is going to come. That's why it's my number 2.
Woo!
Oh,
Yay!
I wondered if it would make it. It sounded up your alley.
Oh yeah, I enjoy watching people get destroyed by atomic bombs. This is not news.
So you don't think it's going to be like a comedy?
No.
They're not
I
going to
think
try
there'll
and
be
take a
almost
comedic
nothing
angle.
funny.
When was name the funny things in Chris Nolan films that were not provided to them by Heath Ledger?
Oh boy. Well, what's my favorite Chris Nolan film?
Memento?
I don't know. What is your favorite?
Oh, Memento. Yeah. Prestige, maybe. Tenet.
That's my favorite is Prestige.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. See, that's the thing. I think he might take this and make it a little bit fun,
No. Is it
No.
black and white, or is that just some of the scenes that I've seen?
I think it's just some of the scenes.
Okay.
I think it is going to have a very limited palette, but I think that palette will not always be black and white.
I'm excited for it now.
I'm
I
excited
just don't know. His writing is the part that I know trips a lot of people up. So I'm just, focused on showing us cool stuff.
I was even fully and without hesitation on board with Tenet, so I'm at this point just a Nolan fanboy, and I need to own that fact
Just
about
accept
myself.
it.
All right.
Just accept
Well,
it.
good.
And when's it coming out?
The same week as day as Barbie, July 21st.
July. Okay.
Is that the date? Yeah.
July
That's the date.
21st. Yep. Well, we have a busy summer of movies because I actually am excited about seeing that too. I didn't know all the details, but I am excited.
That's a good
for it.
one. We'll take your folks to.
Take the folks, take
Yeah.
the kids, whatever.
No, not the kids.
Not the kids. We're not taking the kids. So
$100 million budget.
okay.
So very reasonable.
Reasonable.
Considering who's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
And
take.
considering that's going to be, presumably a lot of effects work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. So that is your number 4. So does that send it to Tim?
It sends it to mine. I'm the only one who still has a number 4 out there. And this is not the first time that I have blindly put this director on my most anticipated for a summer. Last time I did this, it screwed me because he ended up not having a film that came out that summer. It got delayed. But at this point, it seems very, very likely that we will this summer be getting the new film from Wes Anderson. That film is Asteroid City, set to open June 16th, opens wide on June 23rd. And I mean, I don't really know what one can say other than in the year of our Lord 2023, if you are on board with the Wes Anderson experience, you are on board with it. And if you are not, you had plenty of opportunities to get on board, and this will not be the one that gets you on there. But talk about stacked casts. This is possibly the only film whose cast is just more top to bottom impressive even than Oppenheimer. We've got Scarlett Johansson, we've got Jason Schwartzman, Tom Hanks, Tilda Swinton, Jeffrey Wright, Bryan Cranston, Adrian Brody, Liev Schreiber, Hope Davis.
Wow.
All in a film from my good buddy Wes.
That wins. I think that beats Oppenheimer for sure. I think on the cast. I watched the trailer for this, Tim, and I was into it. And then about 30 seconds in, I was like, ooh, I bet this is a Wes Anderson movie. And then I was like, no. Took it off my list. I thought about it. I didn't even look up to see if it was. I was like, I just know this is.
You just know. It's not opaque
but
when their film is by Wes Anderson.
It looks promising, though. Like, it looks like it could be really fun if it stays in the lane of like being fun and doesn't go too quirky, weird, and like all over the place. And I don't know.
Going to.
That's Wes Anderson.
I know.
Of the new cast members who've never worked with Wes before, who are you most excited to see in a Wes Anderson movie, Tim?
I think Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I think he fits really well into that. I think
Tom Hanks working with actors you don't expect him to work with has a pretty good hit rate, I think.
He could be our new. He could be the new Bill Murray for Wes Anderson.
Could be.
Who was he? Who was Bill Murray in? What movie?
They've had a long partnership.
Oh, they have.
Since since Rushmore, I should say.
Yeah.
So they've been in like at least three or four movies.
I'm not mad about having to see it. So there's a lot of movies that you bring that I'm mad about, Tim. And this one, I'm like, you know what? I want to give it a shot.
Well, then I am so far being more kind to you than you have been to.
Oh, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse for you from here.
I truly don't think it can. I think with Whitebird, you might have picked the film I'm least excited about seeing.
Oh, gosh. I'm so excited about that one, but not as excited as I am. Should I jump to my number 3? We're kind of all over.
Sure. We're kind of all over the place, but you're the last one who had a chance to talk about one of your picks.
All right.
So we should go to your number 3.
Number 3, you're going to really hate, but I am so excited about it. Excited because one of the movies that I loved a ton and never expected to love it, because it's totally not, it's not my vibe. Like, I'm not into the like flashy, splashy, whatever. And so I didn't think I would like the original movie by this director, and I loved it. This writer-director also did Crazy Rich Asians. And now they're coming back with a movie on July 7th called Joy Ride. And I'm excited. So this is Ashley Park and Stephanie Sue. It follows 4 Asian American friends as they bond and discover the truth of what it means to know and love who you are while they travel through Asia in search of their birth mothers. So I think, if I understand it correctly, I think one of them is either one or both of these two are adopted. And so they go back to Asia and they're trying to find, again, well, I think it's just one of them. So they're trying to find their birth mother. But it's a comedy wrapped up into like comedy, fun, whatever, as these two friends try to like navigate Asia because they're not from there.
So it's like a comedy with some comedy in it.
Comedy with some comedy. It just looks, these two together, I can just tell from the trailer, it's going to be like all positive energy, so funny, goofy, silly, whatever, like kind of road trip movie. And I was like, you know what? This is the energy I need in my life right now. This is the joy.
And so I was like, I thought it was going to be the remake of the Steve Zahn, Paul Walker film. Candy Cane.
Oh,
also Joyride.
No. We've talked about this before. I've had jokes for years about that one.
I love that movie.
Yeah, because he calls him Rusty Nail is his call sign.
Hey, Rusty Nail.
Hey, Rusty Nail. Yeah. For whatever reason, I'm not going to go into that joke because it makes no sense unless you were there. But we had a joke about it when we were in high school.
It spurred 3 sequels. Do you think this film will spur 3 sequels?
Yeah. Joyride 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably.
I mean, we're still rating on Crazy Rich Asians too, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
I love.
To be fair,
Crazy
this is the person did the screenplay for Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
But it's a different.
That was the best part.
Yeah, this is.
It's
I
the
think
screenplay.
might be her first time directing, but maybe not.
You have to watch the trailer. If you're listening, go out, watch the trailer for Joyride. You're gonna be laughing. You're gonna feel joy, and you'll thank me all. So I'm excited for you all to experience
I'll
this.
do no such thing.
I know you won't. You can enjoy it while
still
you
not
watch it.
remotely as unenthused for this movie as I am unenthused for Whitebird.
Whitebird. It's Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren's like love of your life.
Yes,
Like, I was
Helen
doing
Mirren
you a
has
favor.
been in bad movies. Just because I like her does not mean she is incapable of being in bad things.
You're gonna eat your words. I'm confident Whitebird's gonna be mind-blowingly good. So right now, so I'm at my number 3. Rob, that leaves it to your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3, a little movie surprised us. Not a little movie. It did pretty well. I think it made almost $200 million domestically at the box office. But it surprised me because it ended up being my favorite movie of 2018. So how come why should I not put it near the top of my list? I don't have enough confidence to put it way at the top because I think maybe it was just the right amount of not having no expectations and then just being really overwhelmed.
2018.
It was your favorite movie of 2018 as well.
Really?
I think so.
Give me some clues. Revenant.
No.
I'm pretty sure, unless I have completely misread all of your clues, Rob, it is also my number 3.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. I need more clues. I need more.
Okay, animated.
Okay.
Tim, are we still good?
We are still good.
All right.
Is it the one with the emotions, like the Eternals? No.
No.
Drop Dead.
I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, I don't have quite as much faith in Pixar this year.
No, Pixar needs to prove it to me at this point.
Soul?
Pixar is not on my.
Let's go superhero as well too.
Oh,
Animated superhero. It was your number one of 2018.
Really?
Pretty sure.
It was my number one of 2018.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
Is it the Spider-Verse?
It is.
Oh,
That's a copy.
that's a copy. Roger that.
We just did that when we drop off Abby at school. Now we say, "Hey, love ya," and she doesn't say it back, and then we kind of do the whole bit. The 2018
I find that
film,
repulsive.
She hates it.
She does. What is that though? Like, so how did we already pivot from like you're a child to now when we drop her off at school and I roll down the window and tell her like love you from like far away, she just doesn't even react. She doesn't even turn back. She doesn't acknowledge that I'm there. She doesn't respond. She just keeps walking to school.
Is she 11 or is she 10?
She's 11.
Yeah, that's the age.
I mean, what? Honestly, like I'm a cool mom. Like people
You're not.
would
Just
want to
being
have
just
me as a mom.
being a mom makes you not a cool mom. Yeah.
She doesn't respond to you either. You're not.
No, I
cool
know.
then.
I'm not. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but you ramp it up. Yeah, you're always like, copy that, Roger, love ya. He gets like more loud if she doesn't respond, and then finally she'll like turn and like quickly do like a low wave just to make it stop.
Yeah.
And then we laugh the whole way home. It's so fun.
I haven't watched the.
This sounds like the level of humor I would expect from someone who thinks that Joyride is going to be the third best film of the summer.
These are the things that spark my joy in life. And then Rob and I just having fun embarrassing our child. It's the best.
Well, that when you phrase it that way, I can get behind it.
Yes.
So
yes.
did this just not hit your radar, or you have no faith in the sequel?
You know, I don't think I just am not excited about it, I guess.
Huh.
I feel like I got excited about the first one. I just am not even.
You weren't excited about the first one. It
No,
surprised
I mean
you.
after I saw it.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean I thought it was really
It's
good.
more of the. It's just more. It's just more
I
of it.
know. Do
Yeah.
I need more though? Do I want more? I think
I
maybe it
wanted
was just
more.
fine as is. And I don't think it's going to be as good as the first one. So all it's going to do is sort of like be like a little damp rag, you know, laying around on the floor after a really like masterpiece that was the one from 2018.
That's not the master word that I thought you were going to say about your damp rag lying on the floor.
I mean, unless Elemental really surprises me, this is probably going to win
Elemental.
best.
I
Best
cannot
picture.
see how this is not
Best
going to be the
animated.
best animated film of the summer. And I would say that my mind is in the same place that Carrie's is, only much, much less hostile. And shame on you, Carrie. Comparing this to someone's cum rag. My goodness, that's disgusting.
It's just damp. It's just damp. We don't know what the liquid is. It's unknown.
Well, we do now. But no, I do feel the same way. Like, there's not going to be the level of surprise. There's not going to be the level of like reinventing the wheel. I expect it to be quite good. I expect it to be more of the same, but I also expect it to be the same. And like, I just don't see that they're really talking up any, like, we're going to push this into an even more of the thing that it was. It's just going to, it's just going to be a good movie. Again, I firmly expect this to be the best animated film of the summer, and it won't even be close. But that's why it's my number 3 and not my number 1. Because I mean, I did adore the first one, and I expect to like this one quite a lot.
Is there any chance you have? Because it looks like everybody's just stealing this style now. Any outside chance that you'll like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I don't know how much you like the IP, but it seems to be kind of going for the same energy.
It's going for the same thing. It feels like it's not going for it as hard, and that I wish it were going for it just a little bit more full-throatedly. But I do like that we're in this place right now where a lot of studios are starting to do like post Spider-Verse films. DreamWorks kind of did that with Puss in Boots 2. I forget what studio's doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're kind of doing it. I like this thing of like, let's try and make the textures of CG animation not look like the textures of CG animation. And I would probably say, forgive me for my sins, I'm more excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than I am for the new Pixar.
Yeah, same. Oh, I am. I am too.
I'm straight up not looking forward to the new Pixar.
Yeah.
I'm kind of dreading it.
Yeah.
I have to disagree with you. It's not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is not going to be good.
Yes, it is. I think it is. I think
it might.
Is it
Yeah, I think it's a
animated or live
possibility.
action?
animated,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's in the style of Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse.
I don't know. I feel not optimistic about it for whatever reason. I just feel like it's going to be cheesy and silly. And I don't know.
Not to spoil what's left on my list, I don't have it on my list. I don't think it's like, Turtles are ride or die, man. Like, I think it's going to be fine.
Were you a turtle man when you were a kid?
Not especially.
No, you were, Rob. weren't
Oh
you?
yeah, absolutely. Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoon.
Let me guess who was your favorite. I bet you were a Donatello man.
No,
Raphael man.
Raphael. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I
most.
don't appreciate
yeah.
the way you said Donatello with a sneer, my good man.
See? I knew he'd have opinions on
It would be.
Did you ever play the 8-bit Turtles game?
Oh, of course, yeah. And
Then how
I
can you possibly say that Donatello wasn't your favorite? Because he was the only playable character in that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked Raphael, then Leonardo, then Donatello, and Michelangelo last.
Okay, well, at least you put Mikey 5th or 4th.
Yeah.
That is the correct
order.
That is appropriate.
I think
He's
you
the
just
worst
liked
one
him.
by a
Was he
lot.
the one that likes the pizza?
They all like
They all
pizza,
like-
but
they
he
all like
likes it the
pizza.
most.
That's
yeah.
what I thought, because you like pizza.
I do like pizza.
And I bet you were like, I can see myself in you kind of thing. Was that
No,
the
that
angle?
was not the.
No,
That's not what
okay,
it is.
no.
But I'm excited to hear if you
All
have
right.
Elemental on your schedule. I'd like to hear you defend that. What makes you excited about that if you end up having it?
I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
I thought about it hard, but then I didn't, because I don't know. I'm more excited about my other. Well, I only have one left. I'm more excited about another one, but yeah, I always think Pixar has my number. Pixar knows me. Pixar's good is just going to make me laugh, cry.
Tim,
I'll
do
go
you
through the
have?
whole thing.
Do you only have one left?
Yeah, we at this point, if I'm doing the math right, we have Carrie's 1, my 1, and your 1 and 2, Rob.
That
So
is correct math. So if you, I
probably
can.
a good place for the
to a
break.
then it is.
Okay.
I'm going to head to a break, but before we head to a break, you might be wondering about ways to support the show.
I'll tell you what I will say before we head into the break. I appreciate that even though he's functionally a guest star, that Rob still has the instinct for keeping you and I on track,
Try
Jerry,
to move things
by
along.
sort of nudging
That's
us in
so
the
true.
direction of the break.
Yeah,
And I appreciate that I could just fall right back into the cadence of stomping all over that, like I'm trying to curb stomp a squirrel.
Yeah, it's honestly great. Honestly, this is the shortest episode we've had in a long time.
I was going to say, we're to the break at the hour point. Like, when was the last time that happened?
I know.
Remember when it was the two of us and we were somehow able to get like 2 hours
Yeah.
out of, what was even our last episode,
I
Carrie?
don't even know. Traumatic. I don't even know.
John Wayne. We managed to take our John Wayne episode
How did
2
we
hours
talk about
long.
John Wayne for 2 hours. I don't even know, but it felt like a blip. It felt like no time at all. But alas, you might be
I am wondering about ways to support the show.
Are you? Okay, well, let me tell you. You can become a Patreon, Tim, and get early access, exclusive content, make us watch a movie, pick your own episode topic, and more from our Patreon site. We always, always, always appreciate your support. Also want to thank everybody who's celebrating their anniversaries with us this month. That's Caleb Wimble, David, Christoph Romaine, Brigda, Simon Proud, Ryan Anderson, Rocky Road Taylor, Stephen Swartz, Bruce, Space Ice, Ellie Cook, and also Simon Proud, which I already said. So I've got you twice. Thank you all so much. Also want to thank all of our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing it is easy. Just go to alternateending.com, click on our Amazon banner, and seamlessly go about your purchases. Rob, I don't do what you do and go through them all because it's honestly so many words, but there is somebody out there that's really stocking up on their paper products, getting all of their toilet paper 2-ply. Didn't make the mistake that I did with that 1-ply, trying to get that deal that one time, you know?
We still have a ton left for folks.
So much left.
For guests, mostly. Tim, next time you're over, we'll share that
We'll
with
give you the
Good
single
to
ply.
know.
You really just have to continue to wrap your hand like 4 or 5 times. Otherwise, it really gets precarious. I just want to warn you. Also, someone out there getting all their paper towels, so many of them. I don't actually approve of this
I
purchase.
need paper towels. I'm out of paper
You
towels
don't.
right now.
Get a rag. You've got that wet rag on the floor. Just go pick that up, go wash it.
I strenuously beg your pardon, my dear. Paper towels are vital, and I don't care how many sea turtles I kill by using them.
This is Rob. Rob's just like, he's using them for tissues. He's using them for drying dishes. They're all over the counters. There's little wads of paper towels everywhere. Can't even handle it. I use, again, the rag. Also, someone's out there getting t-shirt, short sleeve bamboo t-shirts. Did you know that you could buy bamboo t-shirts?
I didn't know you can, but I have bamboo bed sheets, and they're actually my favorite sheets.
They're very
so
soft.
not only am I not surprised, I'm curious.
Yes, I am too. Also, someone out there watching some good movies, Death Becomes Her. Also, somebody
Solid.
catching Ed Wood. And The Further Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Scroll of the Dead. Sounds like a real thriller. So thank you again all for your purchases. When we get back, our picks for the top 5 anticipated movies of summer. welcome back. We're here talking about, I think we've got 1 and 2 left for you, Rob. And then for you, Tim, your number 1. And for me, my number 1. We've had way more overlap than I ever expected.
I think certainly the most overlap we've had for one of our anticipated, which sort of belies what we were saying, like, yeah, this is going to be a packed summer, because we seem to not be able to come up with more than like 5 movies to talk about. But
we shall see. I just think maybe we're all converging. Maybe we're all like slowly morphing into one another. And you guys are becoming more casual and I'm becoming more cinematically
I will say
sophisticated.
a lot of the overlap does seem to be between Rob and I.
All right,
and you're out there with Whitebird.
With Whitebird. You're
in
excited
a
about
blizzard.
it. You're excited about it.
I'm excited about the extremely hostile review I will be dedicating to your honor.
Don't just do it because you feel like you have to. If you love it, you got to own it. And we won't judge. But Rob, with 1 and 2 left for you, let's kick it to you with your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 is actually number 1 for me in a lot of ways, because it's going to be replacing what I had as my number 1 at the box office after what I expect to be, not a great outcome for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The one that I had positioned at number 2 at the box office, but number 2 also as my most anticipated, is another superhero film. Kind of does what Spider-Man No Way Home did, introduces kind of a multiverse. But it's more than just its namesake. It is, above all, a Batman movie. But it is also called The Flash. But it's a Batman movie. And I think that is what it gets me so excited to seeing Michael Keaton back as Batman.
Michael Keaton is playing Batman.
He's going to be one of probably many Batman.
Oh, because like you said, there's going to be lots of them. So it's going to be young Batman. What's a plural of Batman? Batmans.
Batman.
Batmans.
Batmans.
Yeah. So there's going to be
Batsman.
Youngies and oldies. Like, is it all over? Is that?
I mean, I've been trying to steer a little bit away from the trailer, but one of the early trailers I saw, it looks like there's gonna, it's their way to kind of restart the universe. James Gunn and team have taken over DC, so this is probably the movie that Warner Brothers is still very excited about. And they have done like no embargoes on certain things, and they've shown early, like the first 15 minutes at the exhibitors convention that they have in Vegas every year. So I think they know that they have a good movie on their hands, despite all of the controversy around it with Ezra Miller and their very complicated situation. That
is he going to be in it? Ezra Miller?
They're the Flash. It's the title character.
Well, I thought maybe he got in trouble and so he wasn't going to be in it.
Oh yes, but it was not possible to undo the movie.
Oh, it had been already filmed before.
It had already been filmed, and then Ezra Miller established that they are possibly the most dangerous human being alive.
I don't actually know what he did.
Some sort of weird like cult leader / kidnapper type there.
Yeah. There's been just Google it. You'll find a number of stories.
He kidnapped somebody?
Well, yeah, there was
not like throw them in a van and drive off, but like lock them in a farmhouse in Montana and don't let them see anyone else.
There was also the video
it's a little hard to say for sure.
Yeah, and there's a video that went around earlier as well that probably should have been enough to cancel Ezra. Was them choking out a person who just went up to them and asked for their autograph, and
jeez,
started off as kind of like anyway.
So, but how do they position that from this thing? Like,
Warner's has been promising us that Ezra Miller is finding the professional help.
They're really, because they know they have a good movie and Ezra is really good in it.
Yeah.
They're trying to, do the PR spinning of we brought Ezra in. Ezra's going through some, significant mental health care, treatment right now, and all is good. They
believe that
brought them in front of the CEO, David Zaslav, and kind of had a heart to heart, and
no more choking.
When you've got this much, they want it to be successful, so they need Ezra to
look better.
Look better.
I assume Ezra is currently locked in a lead box somewhere on the Warner lot and not being permitted to leave.
It's basically just don't do anything until after this movie comes out. Is basically what I'm sure is what's happening. It's like just stop messing things up. I mean, hey, Marvel's got a big problem on its hand too with all of the alleged things that
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors, they built their whole series next set of phases around Kang the Conqueror.
Oh,
and Jonathan Majors is all these stories of abuse and domestic abuse have started to come up about them. So
you got to just pivot.
but yeah,
then.
as far as the film goes, it looks, Ezra was great. Ezra was my favorite part of the Justice League, to be honest. Like the only saving grace, like the good comedic timing. So, you know, I it's very similar characters to me as Peter Parker, kind of the fun, you know, whip smart kind of jokey person. And even though I'm not as big of a DC fan, I'm excited to see, you know, all of the Batmen and see what comes of this. It looks like it's going to be a fun ride, but it sounds like nobody else is on board with that.
No, we're not.
I
Tim has standards.
I wish them the best, and if it truly turns out to be a crypto Michael Keaton Batman movie called The Flash, I'll probably even be excited. If it turns out to be a Flash movie with 5 minutes of Michael Keaton, I will feel awfully sore.
I think the Flash needs a mentor. I think they're going to get it in an old Michael Keaton.
Okay. All right. Well,
if it opens the door for Michael Keaton to play Batman in a live action Dark Knight Returns, I will consider that to be worthwhile.
Speaking, Tim, of worthwhile, let's have you go with your number one.
My number one, this is something that I'm pretty sure anyone who knows anything about my tastes could have predicted from a very long distance away. What is my favorite thing in cinema?
Okay, hang on. You like color.
I do.
Is that it? Is that your favorite?
It's my second favorite.
Second favorite.
Second favorite.
All right, hang on. I know this. The other thing that you really like is sound.
I don't like sound. I dislike sound.
No, that's right. You don't like sound. That's right. I knew that.
Is there a silent movie coming out?
Silent movie?
No.
Starring Nick Cage?
Hang on.
So
Color.
So my favorite thing.
Yes.
My absolute favorite thing is watching Tom Cruise try to commit suicide in front of the camera.
Oh my gosh! I totally forgot about this movie.
No.
You totally forgot. I assumed this would be your number one.
Holy
where was
shit!
this?
Breaking my heart here.
You're breaking my heart. I don't even feel like I know
Okay, to
you.
be fair, Carrie asked me last minute, and I just for some reason didn't see it on the schedule.
Yeah, it's Mission Impossible 17.
Oh my gosh!
It's
would
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. That's right. They went for the double subtitle on this one. Opens July 12th. It's going to be a 3-hour Mission Impossible movie.
Wow. You look
And
so happy.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely my number one.
He might be going to space.
Yeah,
that's a rumor.
Wait,
He
in
might
real life?
have been filmed in low Earth orbit.
Oh, wow. Wait, so they're going to like put him in a rocket like they did like
No, not a rocket, but like one of those planes that can go extremely high.
Yeah. Oh boy.
how did I not see this?
I don't know.
I
mean, I know
cannot-
it's coming. I'm so
I
sorry.
cannot excuse this. I cannot help
What was
you.
your number 5? What
I
do we
can
bump
only
in?
pity you.
Barbie
and offer
Barbie
you my-
gets bumped,
Barbie gets
and
bumped.
this is number one, and then
Yeah.
everything shifts down one for me. But
Too-
no, it's,
too late,
I'm
too
sticking. I'm
late.
sticking with this. Oh, this is
late.
embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. Oh, it's not going to be good, but
What?
you will
It's going to
love
be
it.
so good. Shut your damn mouth.
It's you two are the only ones.
I don't know what about these movies that you don't care for. It's the espionage talking, right? Like it's all of the talking that you don't care for. You don't ever seem super excited about the action.
No.
I think Carrie is a type of moviegoer, but feel free to correct me, is you don't distinguish between like practical maybe and like CGI to I think that's what it is. It's the knowing for me is like, oh my gosh, no, this is real.
What I do is, and I've realized this and I still continue to do this, is I suspend my disbelief when I walk into a movie. And yeah, to your point, I do not distinguish between something that's real and something that's
But do you distinguish between Tom Cruise jumped across an alley and broke his ankle and ran on his hobbled ankle, and that was in the final cut?
Yeah.
And movies where actors do not break their ankles.
That's true. And me knowing
Which is all
that
the other
now,
movies.
That is all the other movies. That's fair. That is fair.
And I tried showing Carrie that clip too to get her super excited about the last Mission Impossible.
I always look away when people break things. I don't like seeing.
I think you fell asleep during
You do
the
not
last one.
care for cinema as a spectatorial medium. I get
did.
it. I'm sorry.
I fell asleep in the last Mission Impossible. I think
Were you so overwhelmed that you were running low on oxygen because you were just so breathless at how exciting it was?
That's probably what it was. I think I genuinely don't know at what point in my life that I realized that there were effects in movies. Like I think I was really old. Like even when I would watch like the Santa Claus and you'd see like reindeer like flying through the air, I can completely get into the fact that that's happening. Like I lose perspective that like that's not real. And so yeah, to your point, I think that might be what it is. I think I like when Rob's saying like you guys are taking in awe that like this is actually happening in real life, and it all just blurs together for me. Maybe that's why it doesn't stand out.
Because see, to me, the most important effect is movie star power, and Tom Cruise is our last movie star. And he's going to like be in space. If not in this one, then in the next one. He's in one of the 2 Dead Reckonings. He's going to be in space.
It's just the joy on your face that is pulling me forward.
What if he dies the vacuum of space and it happens on camera?
You're so excited.
It's exciting.
It's exciting for you.
So anyway, that's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, July 12th. Be there or be Carrie.
Or be me. It's interesting because every single thing that you've said about your movie, my movie also shares. So I thought it could have been overlap. Mine has the ultimate star, the only star. Mine also could die while on set.
But for very different reasons, yeah. More of old age.
But for very different reasons, indeed. I can't wait for it. I can't even tell you.
Or complications resulting from de-aging.
De-aging, yeah. Oh gosh, I'm already tearing up thinking about that de-aging scene. I'm tearing up actually right now.
I've been avoiding trailers.
I have too. I watched one trailer. For those of you who don't know, this is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
My number 1.
Is your number 1?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, but this would have been, this is my number 1. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's why I invited you.
I trust in James Mangold, you know?
I do too. I mean, all they need to do in this for me is write a really basic storyline. I don't need you to give me anything wild or new or inventive. Just give me my hero going in, stealing some sort of artifact back.
Some sort of dial of destiny.
The dial of destiny. Just steal the dial of destiny back. Don't do anything crazy or wild, and just have him doing what he's going to do with Mads Mikkelsen, Boyd Holbrook, which is crazy.
Our friend of the show.
Yes, we interviewed him, which meant nothing to me then. Now I'm like,
meant nothing then.
Oh,
I love Boyd Holbrook.
I'm just kidding.
Boyd, you hadn't met Harrison Ford yet.
He hadn't met Harrison Ford yet. Yeah. Now Boyd Holbrook is just
you're 2 degrees away or so from.
I'm 2 degrees away from Harrison Ford. Yeah. If I could talk to Harrison Ford, I've never actually wet my pants from like nerves or excitement. Maybe I have. Maybe that's a lie. I would wet my pants if I got to talk to Harrison Ford. Like, I don't even know what I would do. But this also is Phoebe Waller-Bridges in this too. Like, she is one of our favorites.
Yeah, that's the part that gets me pretty pumped.
Yeah.
And I think she might have had a hand a little bit
in the writing.
I'm sure she wrote something for herself a little bit. She's funny.
She's hilarious.
I'm waiting for the comic relief.
It's such a quirky group though, because then it's Antonio Banderas is in this, Toby Jones, who I thought had died, so I'm so excited that he is alive.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why would Toby Jones be dead?
I think I thought he like overdosed or something like that. I don't know. I think I might confuse him sometimes with Philip Seymour Hoffman. I feel like
they both played Capote. I
maybe
think.
That's what it is.
They did both play Capote.
John Rhys Davies. Again, if this just is a nostalgia trip.
Are you
like that's all I wanted to do.
We've been watching Shrinking. I am a little concerned about Harrison looking a little, a little older.
So yes, Tim, we've been watching his TV show. Yeah, he doesn't feel quite as limber as I remember. So
I mean, that tracks.
He's a shrink, and he's a grouchy shrink in the show with the guy from How I Met Your Mother. Do you know who that is, Rob?
Jason
Segel. It's not like 100% great show, but I give it a pass. But he is looking, I would say, older than I want him to in real life. So I'm hoping that, again, he's more limber in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And then again, just take it. I want it like paint by numbers. I don't want anything wild and crazy. I just want you to like play on my nostalgia, play on throwbacks, the whole thing. And then I'm just going to sink it.
81 this year.
81. Well, that's young. He's We've got another like 28 years to live.
Yeah. My goodness.
Anyway, I can't wait for it. So this is coming out on June 30th, and we will be in the best possible seats that we can find. And Rob, I'm going to let you get candy at the theater.
Wow.
We're not going to sneak it in. You can buy the candy at the theater.
That is love. That is real love.
I just can't wait. So that's my number one.
Yeah, a lot of lining up. I had a nice mix with the two of you, kind of, again, representing the hybrid there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, good to have you back.
Tim, nothing too super art. Like I know all of your films.
There's just not that many. There's not that many art films hitting. I was kind of keeping an eye out for, and some things just don't have dates yet, and frankly, some things I don't think it's going to be a great summer for art films.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick it to the audience who had at number 5. We had a lot of ties across a lot of movies, so I'm going to kind of go in at that bottom tier, which were ties with Barbie, Last Voyage of the Dementor. I don't know if you guys have heard
Last Voyage of the Demeter. I respect the choice of our readership. I am expecting terrible things from that movie, to be perfectly honest.
I was thinking it was actually another Harry Potter sequel, like movie, and I was like, I've had enough of those.
It's a kind of a Dracula spinoff.
Okay, I do like him. It also with Asteroid City, and then they tied that with Last Crusade, which feels like a crime. Kind of coming in at 2 and 3.
Dial of Destiny.
What did I say?
Last Crusade.
Oh.
Your Freudian slipped.
I actually wrote Last Crusade, which it's just, I want it to be that. I'm hoping it is. Then we have How Do You Live, which I was thinking maybe was a small artier film, possibly.
No, that's I think that's a rom-com, if I'm recalling the film correctly. I might not be.
Okay. All right. Well, that one.
How Do You Live?
There. How Do You Live? ?
It's a Miyazaki.
It's also tied with Mission Impossible.
Oh, that's not coming out in this country this summer.
Well, people think it is. So
good for them. No, there's no chance at all that's coming out in the United States this summer.
Maybe these are people that don't live in the United States. Maybe.
Possibly.
It's possible.
If they live in Japan and are commenting on our site, then yes, they may indeed be able to see that movie.
It is possible. And then Mission Impossible tied with that. And then kind of coming in at number 1 with a resounding vote is the Spider-Man movie.
The Spider-Man
movie. Our winner this week was Zev Burrows, one of our players at Movie Trivia. He had at number 5, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. At 3, You Hurt My Feelings, just like me. I tell Rob that all the time. At number 2, Asteroid City. And then 1, How Do You Live?
Zev also had some great insights on the Psycho score. We had a sound round.
Yeah, Zev's like a music aficionado, and so he got out there.
He's a music composer. That is his life profession.
It's the same thing. He knows all about it, all the facts, so love hearing those. Zev, shoot us an email at contact@alternateending.com to claim your Amazon movie rental. In closing, thanks, Rob, for joining us.
It was good to be back. Good to see you, Tim.
I just have to quickly share a fun fact. Between the three of us, there are only 10 films that we mentioned on our most anticipated.
Oh,
so
that's quite
the
a bit.
fewest we've ever had, and it'll be very easy to catch up with them all.
That's true. I'm actually very, very excited. Rob, would you say that you prefer hosting? Is this stressful having me host? How does it feel being on the other end of the chair?
No, it's nice. There are parts of me where it's like, hey, get it on track,
Carrie?
you know?
Okay.
But I like it. It's a lot less stressful.
Oh, that's good. That's nice for you. I'm glad that you have so many compliments about my hosting. I appreciate that. For everybody else, get out there. Thank you for listening. Get out on our social media, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and like it and view our content there. Also on alternateending.com. And then don't forget to subscribe on our podcast on iTunes or Google. And don't forget about Patreon. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.